Questions for Nate.
When were you told that you were going to be the guy for this game?
Yesterday, right before our meeting started, Coach Combs came up and let me know that I'm the guy, and that they all believe in me. So,
What kind of mindset did you go into?
I feel like I've prepared myself. Like every game, I prepare like this is gonna happen. So I don't really feel like I really had to switch anything. So yeah, I was kind of ready to go. Did the same stuff I usually do the night before, day of. So
When you hit that 55 one early on, how'd that feel? And what did it look like when you see it go up? How'd every part of that feel?
it was great to see it off the foot. I knew it came off well. There were a little bit of nerves. I felt the wind on my back, so I was like, okay, this is gonna be a little easier. But I nodded at Fletch, and I felt my leg shake a little bit. I was like, oh, I'm nervous. And then I saw it off my foot, and I was like, okay, we're good.
What about the one later in the game?
That one, I was ready to go. I had confidence going into it. I knew the coaches trust me, so I feel like I'm not going to be put out there in a position that I can't do something. So,
walk us through your journey. Obviously, you started at Wittenberg, come here, become the first player to hit 2 50-yard field goals. Just walk us through your journey as a player.
Yeah, so I started at Witt my freshman year. I didn't take any kickoffs. I hit maybe a couple PATs that year. Hit the portal, actually, and then nothing really came about. So I went back, and then my sophomore year, still didn't take kickoffs, but field goals, I took the long ones, which was like anything outside of 35 yards, I'd say, and then rotated like PATs. And then after that season, I was like, okay, I'm just going to the portal again, and I actually decided to just enroll here as a student, and then got in touch with Coach Combs, and kind of went from there, because my kicking coach, Tim Williams, he used to know Coach Combs, so he kind of set me up. So I reached out to them, and then got a tryout, and kind of the rest is history from there.
You're three off the record. How far can you go? Because it looked like you had some room on a couple of them.
Pre-game, I've hit from like 65 before, maybe a little longer, but the winds at D3 stadiums are kind of crazy, so that helped me a little bit. But no, 55 was the longest I've ever hit in a game. In high school, I hit 50 and hit the crossbar, and it went in. But that was the longest I've ever hit.
How awesome was it knowing that just, you were nervous going in, but the confidence to give you that opportunity in a game that was still completely up in the air at that point?
Yeah, I just kind of trusted myself. I know what I'm capable of. And I feel like the coach is putting me out there for like my first field goal being from that distance. That just shows that like they trusted me also. So it kind of calmed me a little bit knowing that. And then looking back at it again, like, I don't know, I feel like there wasn't anything that was going to go wrong in that situation.
How much did Coach Satterfield and the rest of the coaching staff emphasize special teams, especially in a rivalry game?
It was a huge thing this week. A lot of attention to detail, especially last week being so close. And then their kicker last week, he had a huge leg, so their field goals really hurt us. So it's definitely important to be able to knock those down. And then in punt, like kickoff, KOR, it's always good to get some yards or pin them deep. So yeah, all week long it's attention to detail, and it's always like that. Coach Combs always wants us paying attention, locked in at all times. So,
along with your journey, are there any kickers elsewhere in college football or the NFL that you like to watch, kind of model how you kick after?
Justin Tucker is really the one that I like to watch, especially like kind of recently like started doing this. He kind of like on his longer field goals, he'll take a step back and then like get himself back into it. I like to do that kind of. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get through the ball a little better when I do that. So yeah, I kind of try to go off of him.
Nathan, walk us through what Coach Combs' message was after the game. Obviously, 2 big field goals. What did he say to you after the game?
There was just a lot of, it was in the locker room, there's just a lot of, like, everybody's just yelling in there, so I didn't hear everything. But I remember Coach Sat telling me that was the first game where a UC kickers hit 2 50-plus yard field goals. So that was awesome. I had no idea that was a thing. But yeah, it was just great, like being down in the locker room, everybody's celebrating. I was kind of in that moment as well, ringing the bell. So,
Did you ever think you'd be in this position, going back to Wittenberg, entering the portal twice, that you make 2 kicks in an FBS game?
to be completely honest, no. When I transferred here, I kind of I thought about it, and then I tore my quad and hip flexor, so my tryout got pushed back till the week before fall camp last year. So through that time, I was kind of maybe time to just hang it up, let it go. But I'm kind of glad I stuck with it. My parents pushed me all the time. They wouldn't let me give it up because they knew like kind of meant for this. So.
What is it about Kerry Combs that he brings that stands out to you?
He's got a fire about him. He flips a switch as soon as we're in the facility. Flips a switch and it's all football, and then it's all about us. Like he'd give everything for all of us, and I feel like I just kind of have to reciprocate that, give it back to him, and he really doesn't ever doubt any of us. Like you can never see that he's doubting any of us. So he's got confidence in us at all times.
Cool. Thanks, Nate. We'll have
Thanks.
Corey Kiner and Eric Phillips in one moment.